What's up, guys? So today we are in the garden and I have all of my allium seeds. So I have onions and I have leeks. Last year I planted all my onions from starts that I got from Dixondale Farms, and I planted them in mid-December. It was actually the first video that I did here on YouTube of planting 540 onions in my raised bed up at the front in my log raised bed. This year I decided that I want to start all of my onion seeds, all of my onions from seeds. I did try and plant some red onions from seeds last year and planted them in the ground. But my dogs, this is before we had the fence, and so my dogs got in here lots of times while we were still building out the garden and dug up my garlic and my onions, specifically my red ones. And so I didn't really get a really good harvest on the onions that I grew from seed. So I am very excited. I made it my mission that this year I would purposely buy all of my short day variety onions, because I am in the South. I am in South Carolina, zone 8B, and we do need short day variety onions. And so I made it my mission to find all short day variety onions and got the seeds so that I can plant them and hopefully have my onions all from seed to harvest next year. So some of the varieties that I have was this yellow Granix, and I got this one from what is this one? Botanical Interest. I got Texas Early Grano 502, and like I said, these are all short day varieties. I have a Southport White Globe. This is from M.I. Gardner, and the rest are from M.I. Gardner. A Red Burgundy, as well as, I have no idea how you say this, but those are my 5 onion varieties. And then I have American Flag Leeks. I did get this from Survival Seeds. I did a video specifically on these packs, because if you're interested in getting seeds right now, they have a homesteader's pack, a gardener's pack, and a farmer's pack. And they come with either 30, 50, or 100 seeds for $30, $50, or $100. And so if you're looking for dollar seeds, you don't get to pick the varieties, but there will be a discount code in the description box. Right now is the perfect time to be looking for discount and cleared seeds, because it is the end of the season, and so seed companies are doing lots of sales trying to get their last stocks of this year's seeds out, and then they'll be start selling 2023 seeds. But you can definitely buy seeds. It's the most time that I buy seeds is when it's the fall or when they're doing sales to stock up for next year, because the seeds will still be good. So all of these seeds are from this year, and it says sell by December 31st, 2022. Off camera, I already made tags for my each variety that I'm going to be doing, and I have my trays filled with soil. This specific tray is just a carry-out tray, and I filled it with soil, made a line down the middle, watered it, because one side and the other side is going to be 2 different varieties of onions. And then I have no idea where I got this tray from, but I also have this tray, and if you can see, I portioned it into 4 different sections. This is probably about 3 or 4 inches deep. They don't need to, this one's probably only an inch deep. It's just the first 2 trays that I found. I did use a garden marker, so last year I had lots of problems with my permanent marker washing away. So this year I will not have any problems. What I'm going to do, onion seeds are really easy and leeks to start from seed. You do not need to separate them or worry about like portioning them correctly or anything like that. I figure right now is the perfect time to go ahead and start these seeds so that I can have my own starts by the time I want to plant onions, which would be again mid-December, hopefully, like I did last year when I purchased starts from Dixondale Farms. So I went ahead and have the sections you can see, put the tags in here. So I will not be using the whole seed packet of, I don't know how much seeds exactly are in here because it doesn't tell you the exact, but these have 250, 200, 150, and 250, and I don't need 1,000 onion starts. So I just opened this pack, and it doesn't seem like very many, probably about, I would say, 100 of these. And so I will be planting all of this specific variety. Okay, and so I have the side of the onions, and what you're gonna do is just sprinkle these seeds all over the soil. You do not need to worry about spacing. Onions are one of the easiest crops, if not the easiest actually, to separate by planting close together. I'm gonna do the same thing with this red burgundy onion. I think I actually did a video showing me separating onions last year. And so I'm gonna just sprinkle this all over. Well, that one had 150 onions, and I accidentally just planted all of those seeds. So that's fine. It just felt right. And actually, I was just thinking about it. So this one has 200. I'll probably plant all of that as well. And it's fine if one seed goes to the other side. This is just being grown for me, so I don't actually, you know, need to know or must know the variety. But I was just thinking about, since actually last year I planted 540 onions starts, that since this is about 1,000 seeds, I might go ahead and plant all of them so that I can ensure that I get about the same amount of onion starts to plant out a whole bed again, or the same amount, because that seemed like a really good amount of onions. Obviously, I don't know if it will last a year or anything like that, because we haven't gotten through the year, but I do have 3 or 4 bags of sliced onions or diced onions in my freezer, because that's how I preserved lots of, or most of, our onions. I did freeze dry some, but for the most part I chopped them and put them in our freezer. So I wanted to bring you in closer so that you could see that I'm really not worried about spacing. All of the black dots that you see are onion seeds, and I'm just going to cover it with a little soil, water it in, and later I will keep you guys updated on how I'm going to separate these and all the things to getting them into the ground. It's so easy to plant onion seeds this way. I'm really excited to be able to grow my own onion starts this year from seeds myself. It wasn't super expensive to buy starts, but it's always way cheaper. You know, that cost, I got well, these are parsnip seeds, but I got those onion seeds I think all on clearance. So from My Gardener, they were probably $1 each, and I think the same thing from Botanical Interest. I think I got those when there was a sale as well. And so when you compare it, that you get maybe 1,000 onion seeds for $6, or you know, you get 540 for maybe $50, I think is around the price that I paid for those onion starts. That's a really big difference, especially somewhere where you can be putting that money somewhere else. This specific variety says to sow in late summer or early fall. We are about a month into fall already, but I think we'll be fine. You know, this is all a learning experience for me. I've never, besides last year, fully grown my onions from seeds all the way to harvest, because I explained my dogs dug up the onions that I did put in ground and in containers. They dug both of them. So hoping, you know, that we keep dogs out of our garden this year, especially with the gate and the fence. But I am going to leave these onions outside to germinate. It says it can take 7 to 14 days to germinate. If I see that it's going to get down really cold or something like that, I will bring them inside. But it's getting plenty warm during the day. It's getting into the 80s, sometimes upper 70s. And there's no frost in sight for the next 2 weeks, and the lows are in the, even I think in 2 weeks the low is like a 40, but for the most part the lows are in the 50s. And so I definitely think these onion seeds will do just fine out here, and so I'm going to grow them outside for the most part, which is different from last year. Last year I planted them a little later. I think I had started them either in November. Yeah, I think I started them in November, and I started them inside and grew them under grow lights. So while I'm out here already planting seeds, I did find some more parsnip seeds because I planted all of my parsnips in 2 beds up front, or maybe I had my daughter do it. I'm not really sure, but the point is that I have no parsnips growing from new packets of seeds, so I don't know what happened. So I'm going to try again and plant them. I don't know if we just wasn't watering that bed a lot, but we have parsnips growing from seeds that I planted in the spring that didn't germinate, and they decided to germinate in the fall. So crazy. So this bed specifically right here is where I planted parsnips in the spring, and as you can see, these are parsnips. So there's one here, and then there's 3 back there. And I don't see any new parsnip seeds in here. So what I'm going to do is move this pine needles, and I am going to add a bag of soil in here and then plant out this all-American parsnip seeds. So I recruited a garden helper. Say hi, Neil.
Hi.
Anyway, I'm going to be using my seeding square to plant these parsnips so that my daughter can easily put them in each hole. In parsnips and carrots, you can use the square for gardening and plant them 16 in a square foot. Same thing with radishes. And so I'm going to be using the red holes. So they go 4, 4, 4, 4, which is 16. And you just put this down. It did come with a little dibber where you can poke the holes. I don't have that. I'm just going to be laying this down all over the bed and letting her put seeds, and then we'll cover it. Okay, so we got that whole bed planted with parsnips, right?
Right.
What did you plant?
Pie plants.
Parsnips?
Yeah.
Did you poke them in the hole?
Yeah.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
And so I ended up letting her use the seeding square because I wanted to get the bed planted quick. And so I kind of started eyeballing 16 and a square foot, kind of just using the same line. But then even that was taking long. And so then I just ended up sprinkling the last little bit on the right half of the bed. And it's fine. I just really want to be able to grow some parsnips. I do like the taste of parsnips, and so I'm really excited about them. So I'm so happy to have this bed replanted with parsnips, and hopefully, this time we'll have better luck at parsnips germinating. The sun is setting and we have to start doing animal chores soon, and so I am going to go. So, you want to say bye?
Bye.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. See you next time.